play a game.
How are we, folks? As you can probably tell, I'm already in my gear for the real railway because I have to get out of here pretty soon. So if you remember from last time, if you were watching or if you caught up with it afterwards, we've just dumped off all the traffic to build the Alarka branch. I'm now sending 2 and 3 back to Bryson because there's a bit of shunting to do as a double header. And number 1's heading up here into the coal mine to see what's here. There'll be at least one car because we saw that earlier. Sorry about having the missed schedule on the stream, by the way, and going 15 minutes early or so than I usually do. I set up the stream yesterday from my laptop, which still thought it was in the UK, and I didn't realise it had set the wrong day and the wrong time. Sorry. We're also tempting fate because Windows is updating right now, and the NVIDIA drivers just updated themselves. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't crash and reboot or anything stupid like that. It's that one. That one popped off. I thought it looked weird. I'm looking at it backwards in the camera because the camera reverses me in my preview. Ah, it's time for a gratuitous bridge shot. Let's go. It's hard to get gratuitous bridge shots in this game, but always worthwhile. Let's see if can we do a screenshot there? Is it that kind of screenshot? Nah. This is Railroader, Wesley. It's a Steam, predominantly, game set in the Appalachian Mountains of the US. Let's see how number 3 and number 2 are going. They're just rolling down the hill. Looks like they are coming into Hemingway, which they are. We haven't actually run... have we? No, we have run a passenger train in this day. We're still running day 13, I think, from memory. Yes, we are still running day 13. I was hoping to buy the next stage of Alarka, but I realised it won't actually let me until the first stage is done, so we won't be doing that bit today. We'll be tidying up the railway. I have an afternoon shift on the real railway this afternoon, which is why I'm in the gear, and I have to be there at 11:45, so the train I'm picking up is, I think, at 12:20. These guys are rolling through Hemingway. Looks like number 1 is slowing down on the Itty-bitty transportation system. I was thinking I should call it the International Transportation System, because that sounds better. But the Itty-bitty transportation system will do. Or the Insignificant Transportation System. Ooh, I kind of like that. Should that be the name of the railway? The Insignificant Transportation System? You can drive these trains if you want to. Let's get rid of the map. So after this one hooks up, why don't we drive this one down the hill just to be different? We're going to have to turn it on the Y, though, or the loco is going to end up going down backwards. Look that up. Do we have... Yeah, we've got to close the one on the back as well. And release the brake, no doubt. All right, so we have one car. So let's take over this one. So we will go to select. And we will go to manual mode. And forwards. That's not a whistle. Now that's a whistle. And she's off and rolling already. Hello, Andy. How are you? I had a lot of fun on Friday. I did 2 trips to Lakeside and back on my railway, and on my last trip, or actually on the second last trip, my driver Gavin goes, "Do you want me to take a spell on the shovel for a bit?" Did it change those points? Oh, it did. Oops. Let's get in there before it derails. Just in time. Look at that. Perfect. You've got to keep a little bit of an eye on that because the AI changes points on you sometimes. But I left it till the last trip to have a drive, even though I was offered on the second last. And I'm kind of glad I did because it actually started to drizzle, which meant the track was greasy and slippery, which is something I've never actually faced in driving on my railway before. So it was very useful to get that experience and learn how to control the slipping. I had the added bonus, if you will, of being held at the outer home signal on the 3% gradient. And yes, we're going too fast, but don't let that worry you. On the 3% gradient and having to do a hill start with a full train. That's my first hill start on that kind of gradient in the wet. And I have to say, it was good fun. Totally excellent. We're not going around this 15 mile an hour curve at 22 mile an hour. No, that wouldn't be happening. I don't expect too much of an audience to pop in today because I had the time wrong on the stream. So I think this has probably taken most people by surprise. So the people that are here, what do you think of what you've seen so far for things like Dresden Riesa? Are you happy? Do you think something's missing? No, it looks good. All the points are fine. All right, let's crank it. Because we are on the main line now. Anybody think we were going uphill? We're not. Let's just make sure none of those are ready to go back. I don't think they would be, but let's pop over and have a look. No, because I've only just delivered them there in game time only a few minutes ago, really. So it's not surprising they're not ready. Michael is overall happy with what he saw in the stream. If you were a Gen 8 player, Michael, would you be happy with what you saw? So I know you're a PC player. So for those who don't know, Gen 8 are getting a full set of services for Dresden Riesa, but they're only getting one train, the BR442. The other trains from the route will be available in scenarios, but not in services. And I think this is an experiment by Dovetail to see what's better. All the services with one train to stay inside the memory footprint of the Gen 4 console, or less services with all the trains. I don't know what the right answer is. The poll I popped up on YouTube has been unusually quiet, so I'm guessing there's not that many Gen 8 players in my audience, perhaps. Just keep the regulator cracked, and we'll go into full forward now that we're going down the hill, because we don't need to power anymore. We just keep it cracked to keep the cylinders warm, because it's a good thing to do. As we cruise along, you can actually stand in the cab of these things and use the controls too if you want to. Most of the locomotives in Railroader support being driven from the cab now. It's come a long way since it first came out, Railroader, and it's still in early access. But it is quite the game. And I think this game has something that Train Sim World doesn't, and it's what draws me back to it over and over and over again. It has purpose. There are things for you to actually do. Let's just see how the other two are getting on. They are arriving into Bryson. Very good. I've got to remember that one's still in manual mode, so I've just got to keep a bit of an eye on it while we do this. Now, how are we? Coal and water is fine. Yeah, we're all good. Otherwise, I'd pop over here to the tower and deal with it. Now, one thing I did not check So we've got nothing to pick up there. I've sent those two over there. Let's just race back around the corner here and just see what's what. Is there anything that needs to be collected? I doubt it, because we did a shunt here earlier. And in game time, it was only about 2 hours ago, so we shouldn't have anything to do. We do not. Let's just make sure you're okay. Yes, you're rolling through Hemingway nicely. Let's check the points so we don't trap ourselves and derail, because that would be embarrassing. Sorry for all the jiggly camera work. Oh, they're fine, so we'll just leave him going. He's cruising along at 29 mile an hour, that's fine. Let's pop back to these guys. Because what I'm going to do here when they stop is unhook them. I'm going to send number 3 back by itself. Once they stop. Alright, now we want to select this fella. And number 2, we put it back into A waypoint, and we're going to stick it on the back of these. Dunk. Now we've got Bryson Freight House, which has to go over there, Bryson Team, which has to go here, and Appalachian Hardwoods, which goes around the corner. Now, let's just make sure the yard is adequately set for the other one when it comes down the hill, which... yeah, it's looking fine to me. We'll have to keep an eye out for it because we're going to be shunting around the corner a little bit. How are you going? So we'll just come back to driving you for a little while that other one runs around. Taking our first load of coal from the Alarka mine down to the interchange. So this is the Itty-bitty transportation system, as distinct from the very large railway that I have, which spans the entirety of this game. I have probably, I think, about 80–90% of the industries up and running in that save. And to be honest, it became too much like a job. It was a bit sad. So it became too much like work, really, if you get what I mean. Alright, let's take that back. Because we're allowed to do 35 mile an hour down this bit, so we shall. Michael would be disappointed in what's coming in Dresden Riesa for Gen 8. I can't say I'm awfully surprised at that thought, Michael, because I kind of think I would be as well. And back to full forward again. The reason you go into full gear when you're just rolling is it's less travel for all of the gear, so it's moving less. And it also means that you're ready to do whatever you need to do. Which in this case is brake a little bit, because this corner's a slow one and I'm going 10 mile an hour too fast. As you can tell by all the squealing. But we're not going to brake very hard, we're only using the independent. It's not much point braking with the train brake when you've only got one car on. The loco brake's more than enough. Alrighty, the other one has arrived at its waypoint, so I think we can just leave this guy here. We're doing near enough to 25 to get away with it, I think. But we'll slow it down just a little bit more. There we go. I'll leave him like that. And we shall pop back to number 2. I'm not going to bother putting the air through to these cars, which means I need to bleed them. And I need to take off the handbrake on... Actually, I won't take the handbrake off on that one, because this one's going into the team track, so we'll deal with that first, because we're kind of right next to it. Let's unhook these while we're at it, because we're going to put that fella into that siding right there. So we want number 2, and we're going to go there. Now, meanwhile, number 3, let's get onto the map, because I want to send number 3 home, because we don't need him anymore. Actually, let's just quickly check Ella. Is there any shunting to do here at Ella? Yes, there's a car to put away. Okay. So we will put number 3 on the end of this car, so we can pop it into our house, which is over there. Pretty sure. Oh, it's there. Okay, cool. Would have messed that up, wouldn't I? All right, so we've got 2 locomotives on the go here. And we've still got number 1, who's doing a respectable speed of 26 mile an hour, so that's fine. Just remember, number 1 is running manual. Sean Desjardins, hello. You have this game. Excellent. What do you think of it? Do you enjoy playing it? I picked up Zusi 3 yesterday as well because I'm a glutton for punishment, and one of the people who loves playing German railways wants to know about getting... Where is the camera for? Oh, actually, no, I can't turn that camera on. Wants to know about getting the TSC controller running for Zusi 3. So I grabbed Zusi 3. I got it from, interestingly, from Loaded. They used to be called CD keys. Now they're called Loaded. Nothing to do with me, just being clear. But got it from them for quite cheap. Quite cheap. Anyway, let's pop back to number 1, because we are doing 33 again. I think we should probably select you as well, so that we can control you. Little bit of train brake on. We're coming across the last bridge on our way into Bryson. Proper whistle. Let's continue our roll down here. This is good timing because we've got the shunting going on the other side. Let's pop back to that because that looks like they're about to stop. So let's just pop back over there, and it has. Because we want that guy now, number 2. So this last car, yeah, it's the guy over there in the freight house. So we'll do that, and we'll just be... Neither of those want to come out. Yeah, one of them wants to come out, so we'll deal with that too. We'll get that out. Let's set that up, and let's get back to number 1 before we crash into something. Seen plenty of streamers do that. Letting everybody know we're coming into the yard limits. Because, of course, in this day and age, which would have been about the 1940s to 1950s, because we've got diesel transition happening. Hello, Richie Rail. Congratulations, young fella. For those who don't know, I believe he's announced it, so I think this is okay. Richie has just recently gotten married. I think we might have to do something about this, because we're heading for the same track that this train's on. Why aren't you moving? Oh, because your brake's on. Right. So we probably better get back into this. Select it, follow it, because we probably have to stop. Because that other guy's opposing us. There we go, he's out of the way now. Those points not set. We didn't, did they? But the AI changed them back. It does that. It's annoying. I think we might actually put you in a waypoint mode anyway, and we'll send you down to Ella as well. No further than Ella, because I don't want him to crash into the other one. So we'll send him to this point here. Number 1. Off you go. So we're going to have lots of really short trains going with 1 car each. Perfect. I was just saying earlier, Richie, I don't expect a lot of viewers on this stream because I set it up from my laptop. Hello, Pete. I set it up from my laptop that I took to the UK, and it was still on UK time. So while I set it up for the right day and time according to that laptop, that was not correct for here. So I set it up for 8:30 AM London time, which was not a good idea, really. Yeah, we'll let him take off into the distance, and we can watch this guy shunting, because we have to get that last car out of there anyway, and this one has to go around the corner. So we've got a little bit of shuffling to do. And when number 3 gets to where it's going, there's a little bit of shuffling to do there as well. So it won't be a really long stream today for the people who have just joined, because as you can probably tell by the gear, I have a real railway shift today, and I have to be there by 11:45, and it's 8:30 right now. So absolute latest about, probably to be safe, about 10 o'clock I need to get off the stream. 10 o'clock my time. I could be ungenerous and just leave this car here, but I don't think so. Who's got handbrakes? So you don't have a handbrake. Let's bleed you. And wait for the bang. There it goes. Handbrake off. Bleed it. And let's get that one out of here. We'll put it up in a little short loop up here. So just put it up here. So this is number 2. Number 2, where are you? Let's pop you there. Let's check how our others are going. Number 3's going flat stick. Just about where he wants to be, actually, because we've got to get on this car. Pete says, oh, a train shift. I thought you were joining the Minions. Well, yes, I am joining the Minions as well. On a train. Absolutely. Definitely. Who wouldn't join the Minions? They have so much fun. They have a license to be annoying. It's just perfect. I think we're stuck in a pole. Seems fair. Do people know why railways had so many telephone lines in this era? How's our water? Going well? With steam engines, you do need to keep a bit of an eye on the water, because you don't want to run out. In this game, it doesn't really punish you when you run out, but reality is quite different. In this game, you just stop. In reality, you will blow a plug, or drop a plug, depending on your phraseology. And it gets quite messy, to be honest with you, because that loco's not going anywhere after that. Bleed that one as well. And how full is that one? It's completely empty, and it wants to come out. Okay, so we'll get that out then. Gunk. Very good, Nick. Off you go. Go on, do you think? Oh, no, I told Titstu to do it. No! What? Let's just tell... See, Titstu's now heading down here, which is not a good idea. We want you to do that. And then we want to go back to you. And we want to select you, because I did something stupid. I want you to stop. That's what I want you to do. And I want you to bring those cars back, and I want you to put them here, because I told you to do something stupid. I told you to go to Ella with those cars, because I had you selected. That was bad. Telegraph is indeed correct, Pete. So while they probably did, in this era, probably did actually have telephones as well. They would have had telephone and telegraph sharing the same line, and they would have also had electric staff instruments sharing the same line. on this railway in this time frame, because this is based on a real railway, it's probably best described. Trying to think of the route name in Train Sim World that this is closest to. So it's sort of the general area. There's Horseshoe Curve, but just not on this railway. There's one that starts with C. Never can remember it. Right, so this one's staying here. So we'll clunk that. We'll put a handbrake on because we're a well-behaved railway. And we will put this one over here. This is number 2 because we've got to put those cars back. And we'll all go and look at number 3 because number 3's just delivered its car. But we actually need to release that handbrake, bleed it, because that one needs to come out. Now, because of where it is, we may as well just put it back on the main line. So we will. Number 3, just put it here and block the road crossing completely because we're a railway. And quite frankly, who cares about cars? Besides, there aren't any in this game. Clinchfield, that's it, Michael. Thank you. Well done. Your brain works better than mine, my friend. But Clinchfield is in a similar sort of area. Similar sort of gradients. So they're all around the Appalachian Mountains. This is actually representing a real railway, but I don't think it exists anymore. I think it died. How are you going, number 1? You are ripping it. You're almost back. Didn't I only send you to Ella, though? Oh, maybe you are only almost back at Ella. Let's just look. Where are you? Ah, yes, you're almost back at Ella. Okay, you are ripping along. Because you need to go down there, of course. Back down to the interchange. Do you like the way I'm dragging this out to run 3 locomotives to do the job of 1? Because, you know, why wouldn't you? There's the station warning board. And of course, you know, being an AI, it sees the station warning board where it has to slow down and just goes, I'll just power on then. Excellent. That's what you do, all right. How about you, number 1? How are you going? You ripping in? Number 3, you've dropped that, so let's pop on a brake on that. Unhook and shove the other one back into its siding. Here comes the other one coming down here. So number 3, you can put yours over there. And we can give this guy a new waypoint now. So this is number 1. Let's pop back onto the map because we'll give you a new waypoint. We'll take you all the way down to the end of the track. And just for personal amusement value, are they actually in the interchange? Oh, they are. I reckon that interchange track's pretty full. It's going to be a pretty serious train, isn't it? I think just for personal amusement value, what we'll do is we'll bring that one here. So we'll bring number 1 to here. And we'll run around and then push it on there. Because, you know, can. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Seems fair. All right. You've done your thing. So we can pop a handbrake on the outside one, clunk that, and we'll send you off to R1, which is around the corner around here. Whee! I can fly! Let's just start you. It's number 3. No, number 2. Number 2. Couldn't be number 3 because number 3 is moving. All right, let's just start you so you're getting into the right spot. And R1 is this one, so we'll just plonk you onto here. Gunk. Right. Okay, number 3 is at its waypoint, so let's put a handbrake on. And clunk. And come back over here and get this car, because we should. Because it's the nice thing to do. And we can, why don't we just sit here and watch you do that? Seems like fun, doesn't it? One of the really interesting things about working on a real railway and then doing simulators like this is while the general mechanics of operating a train translate from the real world to the simulator and the simulator to the real world, as in how you use the controls. What you don't get in the simulator is the feel. So the way you run a steam engine, you're not looking at gauges. Not much anyway. You do a little bit, particularly steam chest, I guess. But you're looking, you're listening, you're feeling with your feet, with your hands, with your body. You're watching outside. Outside tells you how fast you're going. You're not counting poles or anything boring like that, but there we go. Clonk those. Release the handbrake. Now, of course, we're going to run him in AI mode anyway. It's fine. Let's send him to the exact same place because we like a challenge on the Itty-bitty transportation system. So we'll send him to the exact same place, hoping the other one's gone by the time it gets there. So, bonk. Perfect. How are we going, number 2? He's got the grip it and rip it going down. But it is quite interesting driving between the simulator and the real loco. So you haven't got the movement, you haven't got the cacophony of a steam cab. There's nothing quite like it, and if you've experienced a steam cab running at speed, you'll know what I'm talking about. There is no one sound. There are so many sounds that they kind of become one, but you have to pick, as a fireman and as a driver, you have to pick the nuances out of the sounds. So things like if you're starting off and you're coming up off you've been a long downhill gradient, you're starting to come up, you might start to pick up water, for example. Geez, you took that corner fast, Mr. AI. But you might start to pick up water, and it starts to hear muddy or woofy coming out of the funnel, and you've got to open your cylinder cocks, because if you don't, at the best you'll stop. At the worst, you'll break something, because water is incompressible. It's a good word, that. Incompressible. I think it's one of the only words in the English language where they use in to mean un. But it is a very interesting experience. And it was kind of funny on Friday because Driver and I agreed that I'd drive back from the lake at Belgrave, and it was nice and sunny. And when we got to the lake and it started to drizzle, the guy I was with, Gav's one of the instructors, and a lot of drivers, when it starts to drizzle, if they've agreed to let their fireman drive, will go, "No, look, mate, I'll take it. This is going to be pretty hard." Gav just gets this evil little grin and goes, "This is going to be fun." But that's Gav. He's like that because he sees it for what it is. It's an awesome learning opportunity, which it very much was. All right, so that's all the shunting for this guy. So he's coming back light. So what we might do to save a bit of time is I think we might coal and water him at Bryce, and so we only have to do a top-up at the other end. So we can get this out of the way. Otherwise, we're going to have 3 of them fighting for the coal and water tower down the other end. So let's just get him in the general vicinity of this. Did I just tell the wrong one to come here? Yep, certainly did. Sorry. Sorry. All right, let's tell the right one to go back where we were. Oh, actually, since we've got the map open, let's... is this number 2? Number 3? I've confused myself. This is number 3. Okay, let's set you back up to go to the here again. So it'll be fine. And then let's go back to you. No, you're almost here. Are you really? Where are you? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, you. I forgot about you. That's fine. That's fine. Let's, Nimberburn, let's stop you. And let's put you on that train. And let's get the handbrake off that. There's your water going. You're fine. All right. Let's get the brakes through. Come on. Connect. Very good. And let's set you up. We'll put you directly onto that train since you're that way round. Where am I going? Up here. So let's... Now, I forgot about that car. Dunk. Actually, let's just quickly make sure it is supposed to come down here. Yes, is it? No, no, stop. You're not doing that. Bad. Naughty Train Simulator driver. You're screwing things up. Put it there. Right. Now we're going to run into the danger of being run into by the other one when it comes around the corner, because it's pretty close, I think. Pretty sure I've heard it. Yep, here it comes. We'll see which track it takes. If it takes the outer track, it'll be fine. We'll just let it go through. Because we're going to have two engines opposing each other here in a moment. Doesn't life get exciting on a railway? Yes, you do need skill of your senses very much. Sounds, smells, taste. Taste sounds weird, but it is. There we go. It's gone through the outside line, so it's perfectly... Oh, no. You know what it's going to do, don't you? You know exactly what it's going to do. It's going to get in the way. Because it's going to get stuck behind these cars, but that's fine. We'll just let it get stuck behind these cars and then we'll shunt around it. But in the meantime, let's get back to number 2. Because, you know... Actually, let's just have number 2 join the party as well. Let's just send number 2 down here. Just, why not? Why not? Let's just send number 2 here. Fine. Good deal. So he's going to get stuck and he's going to go back out there and come back over here. But we won't do that until the other guys come in and put his in the house track here. And then we can pretend they're organised and deal with life. All right, so number 3 can now go into hurry up and wait mode. Don't couple up, you. Don't do it. Very good. Let's just change those points in case the AI has a fight over it, because it does sometimes. We can hear the other ones coming. That's your coal and water. You're lovely. Here it comes. So as soon as he's out of the way, right, you come this way, young fella. Very good. Let's just say the AI in this game is not the cleverest AI in the world. And when the player's not the cleverest in the world, like me, it is a bad combination occasionally. All right. Just give him some time. Just listen to him, listen to him, listen to him. Actually, what we might do to be safe is we'll get this guy out around the corner. Just take him up here. So we'll just take number 1 to here for the moment, so we don't end up fighting over points. And how are you going, number 3? You're going, that's you. You're ripping through Bryson. Did we leave a car? Yes. Yes. Was that number 2 that's ripping along over here? Because I think you need to go and get that car, number 2. I really do think you need to do that, because I think your player might have forgotten about a car. So you're just going to come over here now. That would excite you, wouldn't it? Oh, look at the timing of that. Perfect. Sean, you're about to buy your 3rd passenger car. Very good. Yeah, I think I've got 3 on the roster currently. In the big save, I've got, I don't know, I think I've got about 20, 25, 26, 27 passenger cars. I've got, God, hundreds of other cars. And every industry is on anywhere between contract levels 3 and 5. I tend not to bother progressing them because past 5, they become quite unmanageable. All right, let's have a look. How's everybody going? All right, you've finished that, which is fine. So now you can go back the other way. Because you can join your little old mate here. In fact, why don't we just put them side by side for shits and giggles? Because we can. Purely for shits and giggles. So there's my tree in the little itty-bitty railroad. I've reached the point where 4 would be useful. But I'm not going to buy any more cars until I open up the Alarka branch. And what I'll do then is I'll break it into 2 passenger trains. But I'm going to run mixed trains, is my plan for this save. So we're only on day 13 for this one. I think on the other one I'm on about, I'm going to say something like day 50. And the choo-choo, I'm a train. I missed you. Sorry. Hello. Yeah, so the idea is just I'm building this one up to be a manageable railway. I want a day to take probably at most about 4 hours to run. And I'm not going to expand this railway beyond Alarka. That's going to be it. It's going to be East Whittier to Alarka. So we've got number 3 here. We've got number 2 up here has picked up its car, so we can clonk those together, get the handbrake off. And we can send it here as well. Why not? So that'd be number 2. So we'll send number 2 here. Once these guys get together, we'll send them on their way. Actually, I may as well send number 3 out now. Why not? Because we want to get them all around the corner. We're not doing any more passenger runs today, even though it's so early in the day. We could do another passenger run, but I suppose I've got time too, so maybe we will. Maybe we will. Now let's get number 3 to here, because we've got to run around the car and push it onto the set. That'll be fine. In fact, why don't we run around this coal car here? There's an idea. So we can run around that car down there, and we'll run around this car here. I like that concept. That's efficient. One of the people I work with in my non-railway day job can't stand it when people are inefficient around him. So I often am, just because I can be. All right, let's get you running around. When that one gets down the other end, we'll run it around. Did anybody see what the logs looked like? Because I am supposed to do 2 log runs every day, but it didn't seem to be unloading the logs, so I don't think it needs them. None of those need to go, do they? No. And none of these are set to go anywhere, so they shouldn't have any passengers in them. Such a small railway, it's okay to leave your passenger cars just sitting there on the main line. I suppose if I was doing it properly, I'd put them in the loop, but... Or chuck them up there in the siding, you could do that too. They would fit. But no, I usually just leave them there, because, you know, lazy. Now, advice I'd give you, Sean, in playing this is keep it small. And unless you actually want... Because basically what happens is you get to the point where running a 24-hour period, if you've got everything up and running, takes 16 to 20 hours real time. And to me, that started to become unmanageable because a stream for a day was running across, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and people basically started to get bored of it. I was starting to get bored of it because it became a job. And when a game becomes a job, it's a bit too grindy. Be okay if you didn't have a job and that was going to be your entertainment for life. You'd absolutely enjoy it, I think. All right, so since this bloke is now ready, yeah, there's still lots of logs there. Thank you, Michael. Let's start you running around, but we'll send this guy onto the train. So let's get you moving. Gunk. And we'll just work around you with this one. So it looks like we're all set there. Number 3, let's go into manual. I'm just going to do this in manual mode so we don't end up crashing into the other one. Just so we can work around it, because it's going to get here pretty quickly. In fact, I think I can hear it. Maybe not. Never do that to a steam engine, would you? No. Yes, I can hear the other one coming. So defensively, I'm going to chuck down some flares. I don't care what track it turns up on. I don't want it coming past. My fireman would have hated me then, running 100 metres at full throttle in full forward gear. The fire would have gone up through the funnel everywhere. See, it's nice I stopped him this time. Come on. Come on. No, brakes off. That'd help. Come on. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. Now, which track did the other one end up on? That one. Okay. We'll be out of your way in just a hair. So as soon as he's cleared those points, I will get rid of the fusee. Of course, you're going to put a car on top of it, because, you know, you're helpful. All right, he's clear of the points, so let's let him go now. And we can clear this one too. Just get this way to little stop, and let's go. Perfect. You know what we might even do? We might even kick this car. Don't do that very often on this railway, but why not? So once number 1 gets sorted... Rails, hello. Let's just make sure that is really going to fit. Yeah, there's plenty of room. Plenty of room to get the whole lot into one line. All right, now let's get you back to the water point, because you're going to need coal and water. So that's number 1, isn't it? Let's just get you there. We don't need to worry about too much where you are. And then we'll get set for pushing this other car in here. We'll just give it a kick. And let it take itself onto the train. This has at time to time gone monumentally badly, I should add. You sound like you're in a happy mood today, Rails. You're also being a totally weird Gen Z American, but that's fine, because that's what you are. All right, number 3. Let's spank the monkey. Now, hopefully that coupler didn't recouple then. Let's just make sure it didn't. No, it doesn't sound like it did. And that should be it. Car should just take off on its own merry little way now. It should have enough impetus to make it. So while that's happening, let's deal with this guy. Let's get some water in. Not quite in the right spot for water, but we're close. Is the game going to think that's right? No, of course not. Why would it think that was right? All right, there's some water going in there. That's looking pretty much fine. So I think we can fairly safely say, number 3, let's just get you coming over here so you're getting sorted, because I reckon that car's going to make it, and if it doesn't, we'll just use the other incoming locomotive that's bearing down on us at the moment to deal with it. So we can't actually do another log run because it hasn't taken all the logs. So we meant to. So do any of these need to go out? We've got one that needs to come out by the looks. So why don't we deal with that too? In fact, with our locomotive that's not doing terribly much, why don't we put you over here and we'll deal with this? Because the other one's getting loaded up. Cook. And I know that other car just made it because I heard the cash register go off. All right, you are full of water. Let's back you up. So they don't really sound backing up when they're on their own, I don't think. There goes number 3. Off on its merry little way. Just check its water. Very good. And let's load you up with coal. Rails said, I'm here with good news. Just applied to hopefully become a locomotive engineer through Metra's website. Promotion yourselves on break at work. I'm not just a rando. Well, good luck with that, mate. Hopefully. Now, I get why you say you're a Jewish American. Good on you. But I'm curious why you classify your dad as more of a Middle Eastern Jew. That's an interesting turn of phrase there. I hate to tell you this, Mr. Rails, but the way it works in your part of the culture of the universe is that you get it from your mum, not from your dad. So you should probably just revel in that, really. All right, let's get number 1 put back in the shed because we don't need you anymore. You're not wanted. No, not at all. So you go and put yourself to bed, tuck yourself in. Sweet dreams, little locomotive. Your day is complete, even though it's only 11:52 in the morning. I could send it off somewhere else, but, you know, there's not really anywhere else to send it unless we just go exploring down the parts of the line that we don't use. And it's not as though I haven't done that before. I've been having a look at some of the new mods coming out for this game, and I've got about 30 mods, as people may or may not know. But I'm thinking I don't really want to put any more mods in because we're fast approaching the point where we're going to have a new version of the game. Let's just bring this. Is that number 1? No, it's number 3. Let's just bring this down here. We can... Actually, why don't we just bring it down and plonk it on this end of the train? I think it'll fit. Will it fit? I think it will. Yeah. Perfect. All right, that's that one. It's doing stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you're coming in here. Okay, and you're going to the interchange. Nothing else has changed in the meantime. Oh, that's right. We only sent you to here, didn't we? Well, why don't we get you to run around your car here as well? That seems like a good idea. The handbrake on. So he'll have can he run around his car here? Actually, no, you can't. Well, we've screwed the pooch on that one. Manuel. Forward. Take the handbrake off again. Push. Push it good. Push, push, push. Let's clunk that brake. Push, push, push. How's your water? Water's fine. Water is delightful, sir. All right, let's stop you there. And let's put you back into waypoint mode and just put you there. And let's put this handbrake on. Because now that that's stopped, we can adjust your waypoint to be there. And let's see how the other one's going while this one's doing its thing. It's winding its way down. Don't stand me still, says the car. Perfect. We'll come back up here and watch the other one running around, because it should be. Tis. Nice. Because we're going to push this one in as well. Autism is a wonderful thing, Rails. You should revel in it. Now, the question is, should we do a passenger run? Because there's probably passengers that want to ride. Nearly always is. Yeah, there's passengers there. Do we do a passenger run? You guys tell me. Because we've got time. It's only 9 o'clock. We've probably got time to do a one-way run. Probably don't have time to do a two-way run. Would it excite you enough to watch the passenger cars being dragged around when there's nothing else happening? Because it'll just be a passenger train running. We might pick up the odd car if there is time to come back, because some things might have gotten ready for the interchange by then. We'll see. I don't think I can buy the next set of cars. No, so we've delivered them. There's nothing else I can do there. The water column. Well, the cars are ordered. If I ran the interchange, I think we'd have to wait a while. Let's have a quick look. Locations. Interchange. Yeah, I could run one at 225. It's not worth it. We're not going to wait around that long. That's silly. But that's okay. Ah, we're back in business here. So let's not bother with his brake. Let's get him down the road and get him onto the other end of that train. I wonder if production's halted at the sawmill. I should check. I should really check. Let's just jump back into locations. And it's Whittier Sawmill. No, production's running. If you get something that's not running it, you get a little message that says production halted. So I think we've been going to, oh, we can up a tier. Let's do that. 15 cars a day. Excellent. In fact, why don't we, let's just watch this one. And while that's happening, why don't we run through all of our locations and see what we can do. So we've got engine service stencil. We can't up. Whittier Sawmill, we just went up. We don't have a contract with Ella Farm Supply. Really? Well, let's fix that. I thought we did. Clearly not. I'm sure I've delivered to Ella Farm Supply. I wonder what happened. Walker logging, I don't care about. I don't generally use it. Appalachian hardwoods, we can go up to tier 4. Freight house, lumber and coal. Can we can go up to tier 4 on you as well. Lovely. Standard oil, tier 4. Thank you very much. Hemingway East Pulpwood. We tend not to use you because we don't actually have a consumer for pulpwood. Alarka Junction interchange, we are not going to turn on because I only want one interchange at the site. Electric station, Robinson Gap Coal. We can't do anything with you because we only turned you back on today. So there we go. We've upped some tiers. Brilliant. Looks like people want more passenger trains. So I think, number one, you have the con. What do folks want? Double header? Single header? We could run 2 passenger trains and have them pass each other. That could be fun. Why don't we do that? Let's just be silly. Let's just be completely silly. I think that's a good idea. There you go, number one. Dunk. So let's get old mate down here. Get him up to the engine service point. Number 3. And actually, we'll run it with number 1 and number 2. So we'll bring number 3 just to here. And number 2, let's get you off the train. Let's get a handbrake on that because it's moving. And just click that again. We need to service that fella. So we need to get number 2 to here because he needs a service. Doop. And we'll pop back to our passenger cars around here. And we'll start them all loading. And we won't tell the passengers that we're going to break them apart. Because, you know, we're sneaky. So, special train going to Ella, Bryson, Hemingway, Alarka. Copy. There we go. We'll let them load up. And let's pop back to you. Number 3 is going to be the one going to bed. And has the other one gotten to the service point yet? I hope so. Oh, yes, near enough. Good-o. All right, so number 2, let's take you over in manual mode before you stop. Brake off. Full forward. Let's get your little hatchie open. And stop. Get that water happening. The other one's going to come up behind us in a moment, but that's fine. Coal's pretty good. We could probably just leave the coal. It's only going to be pulling one car. Number 1's still ripping it, trying to get onto the front of that train. The only problem with leaving them there is the getting them around that loop is a bit of a pain in the bum. He will politely sit there and wait for this one to get out of the way. Should we coal it? Oh, why not? We're kind of here anyway. Might as well. Might as well, eh? Plus, it'll take the other one a little while to get out of the way. Alright, so you're just about to do the run around. So if we go racing back down here to the passenger cars, this one can take 2, and the other one can take... Actually, no, we'll just take the front one. It's got 13 passengers, 16, 16. Now, all the people that got in these cars... Actually, you know what I should do? Let's just do some jiggery-pokery. Let's not stop you at Ella and Bryson, so you can go as an express. And then we'll tell this one that it's not going to Alarka or Hemingway. And we'll tell this one that it's not going to Alarka or Hemingway. Let's see what happens there. So these guys are only going to Bryson, and this one's going to Hemingway and Alarka. So do I lose those passengers or do they move? No, they're moving. Ooh. Passenger systems is better than the passenger system in another game that we know rather well. Isn't it? Yes. So the general consensus is passenger trains, so we will keep this going. What do people think of the insignificant transportation system instead of the itty-bitty transportation system? I'm determined to keep the acronym because, you know, it was an accidental acronym, but it's funny. It'll get me cancelled, but, you know, that's okay. All right, let's get you in here. You can take off with your train to Hemingway because you shouldn't have any other passengers on board. So let's just check and make sure you don't. No, good. Alarka Junction. No one wants to go to Hemingway. That's weird. Alrighty. What about you? Let's just make sure there's no one on any of these confused. So there's no one going to Hemingway. Good. Or Alarka. And what about you? It's knowing to Hemingway or Alarka. I think I did lose some passengers doing that because there were 24 going to Alarka, but there's not 24 in there. But anyway, let's send that off. So let's get the map open. And we will send that on its way to Alarka. And it's only a little shorty. It's number 1, isn't it? Which one was it? It's number 1. I'm sure it's number 1. Let's bring it here. Boink. Okay. And back there. Yes, it is number 1. Excellent. All right. Now, number 2 should be pretty much coaled up by now, and you are. Number 3, we will bring you pretty much where this locomotive is, but we don't want you to couple to it. Oh, it's going to do something stupid, isn't it? It's going to do something monumentally dumb now, but that's okay. And let's get you out of the way, number 2, before he comes running up here. So let's just get you up there. And we'll whip around and get you onto these other 2 cars. So this is how to make one passenger train vaguely interesting. Run 2. Because you can. All right, number 2, on the front. Now, of course, that other one's gone somewhere dumb because it thinks it needs to be on the front of this locomotive, but that's okay. It'll get there eventually. And we'll service it when it does. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what's our new contract? Whittier Sawmill? 15 cars a day. Well, that's fine. That'll get delivered across 2 sets. 2 sets of 12, that's fine. Because I don't really want more than that because they won't load. I'd have to split them. And then it starts turning into a job. Yep. Now, what's the other bloke doing? Where's he gone? What's that song? You're a dumbass? Well, you're still going to go around there. Really? You're still going to do that, even though the other locomotive's not there anymore. Right. You're going to go up and you're going to come back. Okay. I know people like that in real life. Who do things like that? How's number 1 going with the Express? The Alarka Junction Express. Lots of very satisfied passengers, no doubt. You, on the other hand, you're just silly. And then we've got this one that's on its way to pick up its train. Roaring along. Almost at the end of Whittier, and then it will set back onto the passenger coaches. Number 3, I think, is setting back now, so it's almost at the coal and water point. So we might just go and watch you, because we can. And we'll see where it stops. I think we might take over number 3 and get it into manual mode. Boink! Get the brakes off. Full reverse. We'll do the coal first, since that's the right way around. Fairly good. Wow, someone's dropping love hearts on my comments. It's like hundreds of them. I'm getting all these notifications. That's okay. Someone likes me. I haven't opened the hatch yet because you don't want to fill your water tank with bouncing coal. What time is it? 9:22. Got lots of time. We'll see if we do a two-way passenger run. Not 100% sure. It's taken a bit, isn't it? No, we're nearly there. Oh, that's right. This one takes a lot of coal. How are my finances? 4,000. Can't afford a loco yet. Plus, I need the money to buy the next set of cars for the Alarka branch, because I want the Alarka branch. And the reason I want the Alarka branch, even though it's a bit complicated down there, is because I like the copper mines. They're really good. Let's get these set up. We'll be putting you in behind the parts car today. Actually, does the parts car need to come out? I haven't done any big overhauls, so it shouldn't. No, it's still fine. It's still got plenty in it. Lovely. How are you going? You must be almost on the train. You are. All right. The stopping service to Bryson is ready to depart. If you're not on the train, now's your last chance. Stopping service to Bryson. This is number 2. And there we go. Should be taken off. I think with Richie playing this, yes, it would be complete and total carnage. There would be trains going everywhere, and there would be cornfield meets all over the place, because Mr. Richie Rail is not used to a single-track railway. I kind of have the advantage because I work on a real one. What do you think, Richie? You going to play Railroader? We could play co-op. I could wreck your day. You done? You are done. Look at that. All fed. All fed and all watered. Time for bed. Why don't we drive you in here? Wouldn't that be weird? Back you come. We'd have to organise a vanilla save if you want to do co-op, Richie. Otherwise, you've got to install all the mods I've got. Fortunately, you're in the UK. You can still install these mods, unlike Americans, because Americans cannot install Zamu's mods anymore. Because Zamu got mad at America and went, no, I'm going to take my ball and go home. So if you already have Zamu's mods, you're okay. But if you don't have them, you can't download them. He wasn't quite mean enough to make them die. Hello, Maverick. How are you? Perhaps you might like to join in too, Pete. Pete of many lives and many roles. Pete's a bit shy about saying what else he does. All right, that's it for number 3. You may sleep, kind sir. And we have the Alarka Express, which appears to be rolling through Governor's Island at this point in time, if I don't miss my guess. I think this is Governor's Island, isn't it? Let's have a look at the sign when we go past. Yes, look at that. I know where I am. So he'll be rolling through Bryson in a moment, much to the surprise of the Brysonians. He won't stop. Actually, I just thought of something. There might have been passengers at Bryson and Ella to go through, and I don't know how smart the passenger system is. Will it stop this train if it's not marked to stop there if there's people that want to get on? Let's find out. So let's pop down to Bryson and see if there's anybody that wants to go up the hill, because if there is, I want to see if it stops. I'm going to learn some stuff here. Yep, so 68 passengers waiting. 57 want to go to Alarka and 4 want to go to Hemingway. So I'm really curious. Will it stop? If it doesn't, we'll stop it and pick the passengers up, because I'm not that mean. But besides, it's money. No, it's not on consoles, Pete. Unfortunately, it's only PC. It's a PC Master Race thing. I'd be curious if this stops. He's almost in. Where's the other old mate? He's chugging away. Flat stick. He's coming into Ella. Ella! In fact, that'll tell me the answer, because if I pop around here and look at Ella, does it have anybody for Hemingway and Alarka? No, it doesn't. So I think it might have stopped here, and we weren't watching. Because they all want to go to Whittier. They want to go the other way, because they're boring. I must warn you, Richie, that it's a bit of a consumer of time, this game, if you let it be. All right, you're stopping at Ella, so let's see if you're going to stop at Whittier, because you must be just about there. You are. You're either just about there or you've just gone through it. I think you're just about there. Yep, now arriving Bryson. Is it going to stop? I keep thinking that there must be more to it that you can't buy going off that way. Would make sense. Because you'd never build a level crossing for a little stub siding like that. So this is number 1. Not showing a lot of signs of stopping, you know. Just rolling along. Not even trying to slow down. So, isn't that interesting? It won't actually stop. So we've learned something about the passenger system. Interesting that we've learnt that about the passenger system. Now, will these Alarka people get on here? Because it wasn't supposed to stop here. I think we've learned something very interesting about the passenger system, because they're not getting on, are they? Oh, yes, they are. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Ah. Well, it definitely wasn't going to stop, but they will get on without us marking this as a stop. Well, we might have to take the other one to Alarka too, because they aren't going to fit in here. So it looks like the all-stopper is in fact still an all-stopper, but now it's stopping at even more all-stopper points, and that's okay, because some of these Alarka people are going to miss out. We full yet? Nearly. We are now full, so he can. Scarpa, does it remember its waypoint? No, it doesn't. Bum. Oh, that's okay. We'll just set it again. And we'll take 2 trains up here. Why not? Why not? Why not indeed? It's a lovely day for a train ride. Maybe we'll combine them to bring them back. We have time. Barely, but we do have time. Does that sound like a plan? We'll combine them and bring them back. That's very true, Pete. Richie can't do anything with Ella anymore. No. Hello. Melbourne train guy, did you miss an appointment announcement? Well, it's not my announcement. It wasn't my big day. It was Richie's and Shan's big day. How are you going, number 2? Having a roaring old time? You're not far away from here either. Bump, 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 bump. You just see the drone. It's just grinding down the wall here like a skateboarder. There you go. Look at those Gretas thundering into the sky. We do have time to bring this back. Just, I think. It's 9:30. I think we can make it. Maybe. Maybe. I've got to be a little bit careful because I can't be late because I literally walk onto my train when I get there. Park my car, sign in, check the notices, get on the train and go. And in theory, the outgoing fireman's got it ready for me. In theory. Actually, who is the outgoing fireman? Let me have a look, because that'll tell me whether they will or not, or whether I have to do something. Today is what? 14th, isn't it? No, 13th. 14th? 14th. Today's the 14th. And Tyler's on a double. Michael Lonigan, he's all right. I shouldn't call out his surname. Really? Just figured I did that. Michael is a good fireman, so it'll be fine. The train will be ready and waiting. He's a good bloke. Squeaky here is also flying through Governor's Island. I remember when this game first came out, this area was dead flat. And at some point, it got a little hill. I'm not quite sure when that happened, but it did. Just to make it more interesting. It's like they're planning industries here. Could be why it's got a loop. How's number 2 going? Oh, this is number 2. Silly. How's number 1 going? There we go. He's ripping his way up the hill. He's getting into the slow bit now. No, leaving the slow bit, getting into the fast bit. With our full coach. Not quite at Hemingway yet, but we're very close. We may as well pop back to the other train, because we're going to have to tell this one that it is actually going up to Hemingway and Alarka as well, and we'll copy that so that we don't disappoint those passengers. Let's go back to the one that's should be running into Hemingway. No, it's speeding up again. We'll stick with this one for the moment. When the other one starts slowing down, we'll pop back to it and watch it arrive into Hemingway. Do a bit of train surfing. That's not happening. We're not train surfing. No. Minely Ticket Trombone, hello to you. It is quite the channel name. It's an interesting way they behave, because if we saw this guy pop around here to its wherever the 25 sign was, which was around here somewhere, he was going flat stick, and then he cut off just before the 25 sign, and then he was going flat stick again. I hear a cat about to vomit. Isn't that good? He's rolling into Hemingway, just about there. The other one hasn't quite gotten into Bryson yet. Nearly. This one's on the final approach to Hemingway with his super long train. Going to be plucking grass and flowers out of the drone's propellers for a while. Stuck in a hill. Excellent. Oh, the wires go through the dirt. How fascinating. It's always funny when you see things like that in a game. The Aussie SCR player, hello, how are you? There's another SCR player here in the form of Richie. Minely Ticket Trombone says, I like the name, it feels cool. I am doing fine, thank you. The stream isn't going to be a super long one today. I'm just keeping an eye on the time because, as you can probably tell by the gear I'm wearing, I have a shift on the real railway, which I will have to leave for fairly soon. I'm firing a single to Lakeside and back today. Yes, Richie is the other SCR player. I do too occasionally. Because why not? Don't think I've played anything in Roblox for a while. Should do that. We should do that. Maybe we should get together and have an SCR day. You can stop now. Alright, the other one has stopped at Bryson. Looks like it's just about to set off. Ah, lovely timing. Just heard the pop of the whistle there. Well, okay, stopped again. Oh, that's right, because I haven't told you to actually go to Alarka. I've only told, yes. I didn't tell you to drive to Alarka. Yes, should fix that, shouldn't I? And we are going to send it to the same place as the other train because I like a challenge. So we have to run around the other one and get it out of the way using the Y before this one gets here. Off he goes. Inside here, once you buy signals, is where the panel turns up. Turns up about here. But in the meanwhile, it's just cool to sit here and watch trains through the window. Because, you know, can. The map that I'm running, Minely Ticket Trombone, is Railroader. So this isn't a Roblox title. This is another engine. Looks like the other one has left Hemingway on its way to Alarka. So if we bring the map back up, we should be able to see where it is. It's just heading out of here. So the other one's got the hill to get up. So as the crow flies, it's actually not very far to Hemingway, but of course it's got to follow the contours of the land. So it does take a little while. And once this one gets up here, we'll run around. we should also do is this place mysteriously produced another coal car. And it has. Should we come and get the coal car so that we can set up to run a mixed home? I think that will push me into my time limit a little bit, but should we pick up the coal car? What do you think, people? What do you think? Do a mixed. A mixed. What do you think, passengers? Do you want to pick up a dirty, smelly coal car? Full of nice, solid Grettas? Just occurred to me I haven't been drinking anything and I'm going to be a fireman today. I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be right back. Pete says yes. Richie says do it. That fell over. You shut that door when the cat's through. Right, I have a drink. Because it's a bad idea to fire the train when you're dehydrated. The Aussie SCR says, pop quiz, which is physically longer, the 390 or the 745? It probably depends on their configuration. 390s are pretty long, though, I have to say. But they both have to fit in the platforms. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the answer might be on that one. Where are you? You're done. Beautiful. So we'll wait for these guys to unload. How's old mate going? No, he's heading up. Good. So once this guy unloads, we'll whip around and go get that coal car. Because we can. Going to want him the other way around though, aren't we? So what we might do is pop on a handy while it's unloading. We'll come and stick him on here. Boop. And then we'll push him in to get the coal car. Off goes Chuffalufficus. He'll run round the Y. Why? 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 Because it can. Ooh, can we use the Y? Yes, we can. It's all right. We can use the stub loop part of the Y. I had actually forgotten that all these cars are here because they are building the Alarka line. I would have loved it if the maintenance of way update had come out because we would have had maintenance of way trains starting to build the line here. So when that update comes out, I'm probably going to start another save just so I can play with that because it'll be fun. If you don't know, Railroader is getting maintenance of way trains or MOW. So when you're starting to build a longer track or a bridge or something like that, you will actually have a train to do it with, and you'll have to do it as a player. It's going to be magnificent. Utterly magnificent. How's our friend going? Has he reached Hemingway yet? No, he's pretty close, though. Just got to keep an eye on him, because we don't want him to run into us. And I think we might double head the mixed back. How does that sound? Got to be careful on the time. Water's good, water's lovely. Not that I can really do much with water here at the moment, because I haven't got a watering tower here as yet. It's coming. It's ordered. I've bought it. It just hasn't been built yet. I don't know if that came through or not. I'd say we're cutting this fine, but we're not really, because the... boop. We're not really cutting it fine, because he has to stop at Hemingway. And we'll be out of the way by then. We'll go and get that car, and we'll bring it back here. Right. And there probably are passengers that want to go back, but we're not going to load them yet because we're going to push the whole lot round to a coal mine. And I don't think they'd want to come, really. Just don't think they would. All right. Coal mine's up here. So let's kerplunk. Now, after it gets moving, let's set this to go back. Kind of fun that it has to go so far, because the journey to the coal mine is literally across there, straight over there, straight over there, straight over there, but you can't go there. No, because steam engines can't fly, unless of course you've got the Back to the Future steam engine, in which case it can fly and travel in time. Because if you're going to build a time machine, I'm afraid compared to a steam engine, a DeLorean is just boring. So he's done his stop down at Hemingway. We're keeping our passengers happy today. In this game, you do, unless you run the mod that makes passengers happy all the time, you do need to keep your passengers happy, so you do actually have to run passenger trains. There are quite a few players who comment that they'd rather not run passenger trains because they only want to run freight. You can, but you need a mod. You're in a shed. Did you know that? Just thought I'd pop down here and say that you're in a shed. Here comes the other passenger train. How are we for patrons? We have 13 and 19. You're very happy with that reference, Richie. That's what we need. We need a mod that can make green smoke, red smoke, and purple smoke, don't we? So this fella will be in Alarka probably before we get back out with the coal car, to be honest. And that's okay, because we can run him around. Actually, I might have to run him around after we put the coal train on the front of it, I think. Yeah, we'll see. See what we do. I have occasionally contemplated what chemicals it would actually take to make coloured smoke so I can lob them into the steam engine at puff because it would be funny. But then I think about what engineering would say about that because, you know, engineering people have no sense of humour whatsoever. And they don't like it when you do things that might affect the chemistry of their steel. Now, it's not often a passenger carriage comes to a coal mine, but we are today. Let's get ready for the hookup and bring it on in. Or as the band once said, straight on through to the other side. Conk. And he will, of course, have a cock open on the back, so we'll have to close that cock, release the handbrake. And now we want to go, let's go on watch number 2 pulling in, because we're going to tell this one to come to about here. Matt probably would have it produce pink smoke, yes. Now, you've heard how close that was, because we actually just heard the other one whistling. All right, you stop, because I need to get you off there. Come on, stop. I need to get you off and get you out of the way, because you're in the way. Come on, stop. All right. Close that, bonk that, and where are we going to put you? I suppose to keep you out of the way, we can put you here. So, number 2, come over here. Oops. Right, that should be fine. If you're wondering what happened, my Fancy Zones screen manager just popped up and went, "Oi, what you doing? What you playing at?" I think these need some maintenance. Let's give it some oil. Or as they say in the Midwest, oil. They don't say oil, they say oil. All right, so he'll be out of the way. The other one's coming out of the mine. And we want you to go to Whittier, Etla, Bryson, and Hemingway. We want to copy you to both cars. And we're going to have another car bonked onto it very soon. Hello, Lord Vectron. You are close to the end of the stream. Yes. I think pink smoke would be good, Pete. Minely says, I wish I could create a train or build one someday. Used to build trains and forgot how to build one. Well, get into it and do it. How's our mining train going? He's still very slowly coming out of there. So this guy's going to beat him around the curvature for sure. Oh, there he is. I was beginning to wonder why we couldn't see him. Now, number 1, once this guy gets out of the way, because I don't want the AIs fighting over the points, because they will, because they're rather close, I'll tell him to get onto the passenger train. So we'll have, what will we end up with? We'll have passenger, coal, passenger. What a weird train. That's okay. And Lord Vectron, who's just joined us, I just realised all these things are on top of me. That's okay. That's fine. Yep. That's fine. In case you haven't guessed, Lord Vectron, I am in my train gear because I do have a real shift, and I'm going to get out of here quite quickly when it comes. Looks like the other one is out of the mine now, and number 2 here is safely through the point. So let's give this one a new destination. Boonk on there. How's our loading going? We don't have any more passengers getting on. We don't have a lot actually in here, but that's okay. So once this train gets here and hooks on, we'll put the other loco in the front and we will double head them back. I'm just debating in my head whether I have time to take them back or not. I guess I do, because it's only 10 o'clock. Lord Vectron says, non-subscribers know you're a real train man with the uniform. Yes. Let's, in preparation... Why are you stopping? I did give it a new waypoint, didn't I? I'm sure I did. I didn't do something stupid like tell Tits 3 to go there, did I? Oh, you're stopping for the station stop. Of course you are. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. Well, you know, if I'd known you were going to do that, I would have put a logo on. But, you know, that's okay. That's fine. You can sit there in the station stop if you want to. It outsmarted me, it did. Definitely did. Well, that's where my things are. Good. I'll take them with me. Come on, you don't have to stop there that long, do you? Got 4K. I need to keep that, though. Must resist spending money on things. Come on. You ever notice when you're watching, a minute is a really long time? Now this one's moving, we'll bring the other one to here. It's going to be such an odd train, isn't it? Passenger, passenger, coal, passenger. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, as soon as this one's clear of the points, we can set a waypoint for number 2, because number 2's moving now. It's heading this way. Number 1's going, ooh, this is heavy. Because it actually is quite a steep hill. Number 2's whistling for the crossing, of course. Where's it gone? Huh? Number 2, you need to go here. I don't know where you're going, or what you're planning on doing, but you can't do what you want to do. All right, let's get the brake off on this one. Release the handbrake. Is it going to come here in an intelligent way, or is it doing something stupid? What's it doing? Okay. I think it was doing something stupid before, and now it's doing something intelligent, so it's fine. Good. All right. Let's get number 1. Let's just get you into manual mode. And do I dare do this? Probably can. Hopefully it won't roll off down the hill now. Let's reset your waypoint to be on the front of this locomotive. Ooh, they're going to go pilot to pilot. Do you know in reality you couldn't actually do that? You're going to see why in a moment. As soon as they couple up, you're going to see why this is a bad idea. Going pilot to pilot. Let's get rid of the map. I should put this over here so you can see it. Make it smaller too. If it'll let me. Yes, it will. Excellent. Now it's going to offend people's OCD. So who can guess why... Stay down that level. Who can guess why this is a bad idea, running pilot to pilot? Mindly Ticket Trombone asked you try some art sometimes. I am a photographer. I do video as well, but apart from photographing trains, which is an obvious thing, I do also photograph people, but I don't advertise anymore. I just do it when people find me. All right. Okay. Tits 2 away. Set a waypoint for you. We have to go to the other end of the line, of course. We're only going to have the one train to watch this time. So we want to go to, well, Whittier to start with. I don't know if we'll actually make it there, but, you know, we can try. We can but try. Okay, let's go back and watch you now. Get rid of that. Get rid of the map. How will the passenger system cope? Oh, did you see why it was a bad idea to go pilot to pilot? Let's see if we can see it. See, they're colliding. All right, let's select that coach. Inspect and follow that coach. All right, so we've got 2 passengers in there. And we've got 16 passengers in there. And we've got 12 in here. And they're all going to different stations. How amusement. Lord Vectron says, my guess is the steam from the cylinder cocks. No, it's because their pilots go and get smashed. One of our locomotives is coming out with a American-style wooden pilot on it when it finishes its restoration. It's tried to come out of workshops a couple of times now, and it's had to go back in for various reasons. So every year we say, when's it coming out? And they say Christmas. And we're getting close to that time again, so I'm sure it'll be out by Christmas. No one ever says what year, of course. Down the hill we roll with our strange little consist. No, it would happen in real life too, Lord Vectron. You can't put American-style wooden pilot engines, pilot to pilot. The only way to do it is to put a coupling bar between them, which is not a great idea from a crew perspective, because it's very hard to be safe while you're coupling up 2 coupling bars. Yeah, that's it, Lord Vectron. Like with a war, the soldiers will be home before Christmas. I hate to say it, but I kind of feel we're on the verge of having one. Some bad shit going on in the world at the moment. And I kind of think the rest of the world's itching to get involved. It would be interesting to see how I don't want this to happen, let's just be really, really, really clear. But it would be interesting to see what would happen with the latest generations in a World War type of situation, because it's quite different culturally from what it used to be. So how many people have we got, Little Hemingway? We've got 20 people, and they're all going to Bryson. Okay. Do any of our carriages think they're going to Bryson? Let's just make sure they are. Yep, they're going to Bryson. So that one hasn't picked up any yet. We've had some people get off. The other thing I'm curious about is, do any of these pick up any people from this stop, given there's a coal car in the middle? Is the passenger system smart enough? So there's 0 passengers waiting, only 6 got in there, so some of them must have got into others. So yes, doesn't matter that there's a coal car in the middle. Richie says he would not go. I understand why. It would be a, yeah, I think it would, I think it would be an interesting time for the governments of the day. They'd have a very tough time of it, I suspect. In fairness, Richie, you probably wouldn't have to. You're probably too old. Downhill through the sharp bendy bits to Bryson. It's now 10:08. I will run this to 10:20. Ouch, says Ritzy to the too old comment. So we'll get as far as we can by 10:20, so that's 12 minutes from now. So we'll get to Bryson, might get to Ella, might get to Whittier. I don't think so, though. I think that was a bit longer. Oh, look, the door's open. Hope it's summer. It'll be cold. Yeah, there's lots of people discording me. Oh, one of them's at Puff. Better see what he wants. He's just sending me pictures. That's fine. It is Great Train Race Day today at Puffing Billy. They have a running festival over the weekend. And there's the first two trains have people racing them, and the rest of the trains are mostly to bring the stinky people back. Because, you know, they don't smell that good having run that distance. I'm always kind of glad I'm on the front of the train because I get nice clean air, not full of BO. Quite often the people's families ride the trains to pick their people up, and they get them and go, bleh. And so our two little black engines cart us off down the hill. That'd be another thing I'd like to see in a mod. In fact, I think there are some. I'd like to see some coloured engines, because engines weren't all black. Even in this time frame, not all engines were black. So it would be good to see some other colours. As we roll down through the slow speed zone, because we have some rather tight corners. If you recall the map, let's bring it up to where we are, so help people learn the route. So we've just come around one of the worst ones. I'll put it over there so it's not under my head. We get into the higher speed zone soon. We won't be picking anything up because we'll have to have a try at see if we can get to the end of the line. I think we won't because I've only got 10 minutes left in the time that I have available before I have to nick off. Have to remember to get my lunch out of the fridge too. Gratuitous Brit shot. If I knew how to take screenshots in this game, I would, but I have no idea. I suppose the Steam thing would work, Control-Shift-F12 or whatever it is. Because that's the Steam overlay, and it does keep popping up going, hey, I'm here. Minely says, all the honest Pangender cars look fire. Reminds me of the cars from classic Metro North. They're basically a Osgood passenger car. And they're actually purple, but they don't look it in the shade. They are actually all the same colour, but they change as the light gets on them. I'm glad I had time to mute that. That would have been loud. So we come rolling on down the hill. We're almost in Hemingway now. Let me start that on follow mode again. As we grind our faces through the trees. I could call it Tree Sim World, but that's another game and I'd get in trouble. I think the next stream from those guys, thinking about them, is Morristown, and that's this week. So you get some American Rail joy in Train Sim World 6 coming up shortly. I know bits of the Morristown line. I've ridden some of it, but I can't say I'm an expert on it by any means. But I've certainly seen more of it than I've seen of Leipzig-Dresden. Rolling into the outskirts of Bryson now. One day it'll grow up to be a real town and justify all of those oil towers. It's interesting, isn't it? Where would you put an oil chemical plant? Next to a river. Yes, that's smart. So when it leaks, it all goes into the river and gets carried away cleanly. Perfect. Yep, absolutely perfect. Couldn't be better. Coming into the big yard. I do see some people who play this game use this yard quite a lot. Sorting out their big runs of coal cars and stuff like that. I often kind of wonder why you bother. Because you get penalised if they arrive late, so bunging them into this yard and leaving them there for a while you muck around seems silly to me, but that's okay. Mindley says, oh, I've covered that one. Lord Vectron says, I'm itching to see Riviera. Of course, that's the last because it's probably the most anticipated. It certainly is by the UK people. I'm familiar from Riviera from TSC, both versions of it. I haven't, have I been, I suppose I have been on, I actually have been on some part of Riviera. Just thinking about it, I kind of have a little bit, but I have not been along the Dawlish coast. So it is a particularly pretty area, so the other half and I are hoping to get back to the UK next year, and we want to predominantly do Scotland and Ireland. But, you know, we can do some other places as well. The Dawlish coast would be nice in summer, because it'll be summertime when we go, of course. So it would be a nice spot. Just got to find a castle there. Come on, UK people, help me find a castle on the Dawlish coast. Help me find an excuse. Because the other half loves her castles. She wants to visit a lot of them. So I need to find castles with railways. She doesn't hate trains, but she's not a fan. Let's see how our passenger count numbers are going. Sounds like they've already finished. They are loading, so that's good. How many have we got sitting in here still? It's probably not that many because we've been here for a while. Oh, 29. So, of course, there's 19 that want to go to Alarka and Hemingway and 10 to Hemingway now. But, you know, we're not doing that. No. So what have we got on our loads? 19, 25, 23. So we're going to make about $80 today. Mindley says I might travel some in Trenton and maybe a bit of Dutch in TSW5. Why not? Melbourne Train Guy says, does Dresden raise a backport and unlock the TSW5 version if you didn't already own it? No, it will not. Dunster Castle next to the, oh yeah, next to the West Somerset. In fact, yeah, I suppose I have been on the Dawlish coast, haven't I? But not that railway, not the Riviera line. Because, you know, I have been down there. I've even been to Western Supermare. I had to just find out what the hell it was. It seemed necessary at the time. Got 2.5 minutes. Do you think we're going to get to Whittier? Spectron says Dresden got you kind of hot, 200 kilometre an hour section, just long enough not to be too short. That's one way of putting it. It's interesting watching this game. This game has shadow pop in as well, just like TSW does, but somehow it's not as obtrusive as it is in TSW. I guess Unity just does it better. They're more subtle changes. They kind of fade in instead of just going, and the whole shadow's there. It sort of goes in layers, if you get what I mean. So you certainly see it, but not as much. That's quite interesting. I'll tell you what, we will have time to get this to Whittier, as long as I go and do a couple of things that I need to do before I go. So I'll just go and put my lunch together, for example, and go and do another chore. Lord Vectron says, could also be your attention is focused on other parts. How often do you just watch the scenery? Oh, all the time. It's like in my engine, you spend half on the real railway, you spend half the time staring out the door. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment. where have we gotten up to? Ella. Great. My in-laws have arrived too, so you'll hear a little bit of extra chatter. Corfe Castle in Dorset next to Swanage. Yes, I saw Corfe. We can do this watching the time because I've done the things I needed to do. I'll be able to race straight out the door. I just have to remember to take off my Ugg boots and put on my safety boots. Because turning up in the railway in Ugg boots, while it would be funny, wouldn't be all that successful. How many people are waiting here? 26 for Whittier, 1 for Alarka, who will not get serviced, and 5 for Brysoon, who will not get serviced. And getting off, we have... Yeah, there's a few. Did we oil this? No. There we go. Oil those. We don't want any hot boxes. You should oil locos too. We haven't done that today. It's always worth oiling everything while you're stopped at a station. Ooh, that tender was low. And so I don't forget, we should actually pop down and oil the one that's in the engine shed as well. Otherwise I might forget to do it. No, I've done it already. Have I done the back? Yeah, I've done it. Good-o. Okay, we're following the one that's sitting here. That's a good plan. Should follow the one that's at Ella. So I will have time to get this to East Whittier, but that will be the close of the stream for sure today, because I do have to run. For those of you who are wondering what the railway is that I work on, I probably won't give you that link, I don't think. I'll give you this link. That's the railway that I will be working on later this afternoon. Well, it's actually not even this afternoon, it's earlier than that. Let's just get away from these funny sounding trains. Because they sound a bit funny sometimes when they get in just the wrong beat and they get this reverb happening when they're in just the wrong beat like they are right now. I don't think Corfe is the kind of castle she's after. She wants to go and experience the ones that still have a roof, for example. Or at least, or maybe a little more intact than Corfe. I'm going to dump and run when we get this thing to East Whittier as well. I'm just going to leave the engines sitting in that station and I will deal with them later, because I don't have time to go and service them and put them away. Don't even have time to deal with this coal car. It can sit there till later as well. So I'll finish that off stream. Off it goes round through the wilderness. So we're not terribly far from our destination. It's, what is it? It's a mile and a half. It's only a few more minutes, really. And then I shall rather unceremoniously do a runner. Have to think about what I'm going to do for Wednesday night as well. Got to look into hiring a car in the UK this time too, because with two of us, that's more luggage and things like that. And Christine is not a huge fan of moving around every few days, so probably set up a base and spend a week in each area. Which means to see things, you can't be as reliant on public transport. So we'll probably end up hiring a car. We are now rolling into the outskirts of Whittier. So in a few moments, I'll pull the pin on today's stream and leave you guys behind, unfortunately, because I'd love to have you come with me to the real railway, but I can't really live stream from there. Even if there was adequate phone coverage in the mountains, I probably still couldn't. Actually, I'm hoping I can get all the way down to the railway today, because I'm hoping they don't have any roads closed. It should be clear at that end for the race by now. Should be okay. Parking could be interesting, though. The runners aren't supposed to park in our car parks, but they probably have. Pete says, I am usually in Devon the first 2 weeks of August each year. Cool. We have a thing called Devon lunch meat, which isn't for lunch and it isn't meat. Well, there we go. We have arrived at the final stop of today's stream, and I shall run away. So have a great one. Thank you very much for joining in, everyone. Appreciate you all being there. The ones who just lurk quietly in the background are also appreciated, as well as the ones who chat. So enjoy yourselves, have fun, and we shall see you later. Bye.